got it.
What's going on, boys and girls? Bastin' Up Moppet here, coming at you with a new video. And in this week's video, we are going to go over two of my absolute favorite spring techniques that you can fish and that put big fish in the boat. And these techniques, doing these two things, will catch you more big fish, I promise you. But we are going to talk about using the glide bait and the jig in conjunction with each other to trigger bigger strikes and trigger bigger fish. So here we go, y'all. So we first get out here and right away I start off with the Berkley Nessie glide bait, just slowly reeling it, giving it a nice steady pace in. And then this big boy decides to show himself. Yeah, I screwed up just a tad bit on that one.
Surprise, mother!
Whoa, 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 whoa!
You don't want to pause your glide bait like this. You want to keep it moving. That is key at getting the fish to actually bite and eat it. Don't be like me and get paused and be in awe of seeing the fish. This one you want to pay real close attention to as well, because I did something really important that's kind of a no-no when fishing these bigger glide baits like this. So this fish bites and I instantly set the hook on it, and with these bigger glide baits, especially these 9, 10, and 12 inch sizes, give them just a second or two after they bite to get that bait and get that hook in their mouth, especially with a single hooked bait like this Berkley Nessie is. I didn't have that hook in its mouth all the way before I went and set the hook, and I ripped it right out of his face before he had all of it.
Damn.
Gotta wait a second, you can't.
It looked like he had it all the way.
Yeah, but you gotta wait for him to turn and take it.
So now, after missing that fish on the glide bait, I decide to pick up my jig. Once you get a fish that is really fired up like this and follows the glide bait a couple of times, throw back in there to something else, because most of the time you've got that fish fired up that he wants to eat something, and that's exactly what happened in this situation.
That looks like a big fish. I don't know if it's a carp or not.
Probably.
Nope, got it. Nope, got it. Big one. I was gonna say it looked like he went towards my jig.
Really? You need a lesson in landing fish?
That's a big one.
Looky there, guys.
No.
That's a fat fish. One last look at this big old girl there, guys.
That was a big ass muskie that was following it. Well, what the hell is that? A carp fall in it?
He's musky. Holy shit.
Dude, he was gonna eat that.
He thought about it, that's for sure.
If I wouldn't have stopped it, he would've.
Well, here we are at the end of this video where I break it down a little bit for y'all. So what I was doing a lot of the time this day was I was throwing the glide bait in, trying to see where these bigger fish were and seeing if there was bigger fish on this cover, because the glide bait, if it does one thing, it gets bigger fish to show themselves, especially early in the year and early in the spring like this was. This glide bait will pull fish right off of trees, right off of points, and they will follow it all the way to the boat most of the time. Big fish too, like 5, 6, 7, 8 pounders. And if you can't get them to bite the glide bait, now I screwed up quite a bit with the glide bait. I was kind of in awe of seeing all these bigger fish, and instead of doing the right things with the glide bait to trigger bites, like speeding it up and ripping it real quick, I was more in awe that I saw these big fish and didn't capitalize on those situations. So what I did was flip back in there with the jig after they had gotten all fired up with seeing the glide bait and wanting to eat something, threw back in there with the jig and would end up catching them. Now of course it didn't work on the muskies because muskies are a little bit different, but glide baits even get muskies to show themselves, and especially early spring like this when the muskies are all up shallow as well, trying to get ready to spawn and do their thing just like the bass are. It's one of the best times to get them to show themselves as well. But the specific glide bait that I was throwing was the Berkley Nessie, the 9-inch, and the jig that I was throwing was little Missile Jigs Ike's mini football jig, and I had a Missile Baits Crawfather on the back of that. Creates a lot of little action, and this is only a 3/8 ounce jig, so it falls nice and slowly, so it stays in the strike zone for a good amount of time, which is key this time of year at getting reaction and getting bites out of these fish. The longer you stay in the strike zone and the shorter of a fall it gets, a lot of times the better. But it can also be a toss-up as well, because certain days early in the spring I've noticed too that they like a fast fall. So you're just gonna have to play around with that and judge on what kind of day you're at. If they're not hitting one, then they should be hitting the other. But this is one thing that you can surely do to go out there and catch bigger fish. And if you guys do what I said with the glide bait and move it a little bit faster when you see these fish coming up after it, a lot of times that will trigger them to strike because they think it's a real fish then. No bait fish is going to stick around and let a bass try to eat it. They're going to get out of there. So when it acts more realistic like that, it makes them do the make or break kind of moment where they're either got to eat it or let it go. And since bass are opportunistic feeders, a lot of times they're going to try to eat it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next one. And get entered into my giveaway. As soon as we hit 2,500 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway for a fishing trip with me. So to be entered in that, you got to be subscribed to the channel. You got to like this video. You can comment for another entry, and you can also share it on your social media page for an entry as well. But tag me in it so I can see it and you can get that entry. And we'll see y'all next Thursday, guys. Tight lines.
So instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it.